Hello, welcome back to our message from our divine compassionate guides. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day. Today, I am pulling from the Starseed Oracle once again by Rebecca Campbell. And to be real, I have been finding these times extremely challenging, which I'm sure many of you have. And so I put the intention of, what message, what guidance do we need right now? And there's been a lot of messages coming up if you have been following. There's a lot about our ancestral healing and like that soul deep releasing of things that we don't need anymore. And it's interesting because how I personally intuitively feel, I'm a Cancer and I definitely feel like a Cancer. I'm very emotional and crabby. Is that I'm struggling with certain things, but internally I feel this excitement of connection happening that I need to trust. But I'm also struggling with my ability to trust for whatever reason at this moment. So I've been going through, I'm sure all of us going through our own personal growth and spiritual evolutions are going through different things, but probably a little similar. So I put that intention of like, what message is there for us? Because as I pull these cards, they are for you, the greater consciousness of what is going to be good for us in humanity. And of course, I try to make this beneficial that it's also helping myself. So let's find out what message our guides have for us today. And let's just keep digging into finding out how we can heal ourselves during this time so we can flow with as much ease and grace as possible. And of course, I start that with the understanding that I've already seen the card for today. Because of course, when I shuffle, I prepare and know what we're gonna do. And we've pulled this before. The Void. Stop, embrace winter, great cosmic womb. So this one seems extremely appropriate to be coming up, especially for how I personally feel. I can't say that everybody else is going to feel the same way I am. I can only work from my own intuitive abilities and how I feel myself. But this card, as we take a deep breath in, let's get ourselves settled, just so we can learn about this card and what the message really is here today from the Void. The Void essentially represents that everything and nothing exists. And we can really see that as we take a deep breath in, looking at that beautiful, kind of like that circle in the middle, that swirl, which is that little light. What do you notice? What does it make you think of? How does it make you feel when you look at it? The card represents a lot. It's the message of the Void is for us to surrender to the unknown. And I know that's very appropriate for myself because I can only compare it to my own personal experiences, but where my trust comes and where my lack of trust is coming is this unknown. The unknown that's just holding over all of us at this moment. So we're being called to surrender to the unknown and allow the darkness and the nothingness to nourish the new seeds to grow within us. We don't know what these seeds are going to become. We have to stick with these seeds. So for myself, it's doing these videos that I hope some people see, even if it's just one person, and that any of the message that I have here helps, heals, and serves you, hopefully in a way that will help you grow and plant these seeds. So we don't know what it's going to turn into, but we have to trust. This is really about trusting this unknown period of time. Hand over our control. Trust, and just because we can't see what's happening doesn't mean things aren't at work. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us. Right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknown, we need to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. When this void, it surfaces at the end of a chapter or life phase, which I feel like for myself and probably many of you, that seemed quite appropriate. We're coming to an end of a chapter. And we need to let go of what we knew and identified with. No matter how much we think we do, then we have a moment where we realize we still identify with something. And it's each of these things that just trigger us, or we identify, or we feel hurt and loss with, that we need to allow ourselves to let go of. We were told yesterday that we have time. It's our time. Everything has a time to be let go and released and healed. All karmic ties do. When we're in the void, it can feel scary, as if we should be doing something. However, this card here appears as a sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of your life. We are really being encouraged. Completely trust, even when you don't feel like you can trust. Trust. Let go of the worry. Let go of the stress. Let go of the pain. Allow yourself to disidentify, I'm not sure if that's a word, unidentify with the things that are triggering you, the things that start to get you thinking into ways that you may not want to think like. Find that way to trust that as you let a breath go and you surrender those thoughts, you trust that you breathe in that connection, the connection to Source, God, the Creator, our Divine Mother and Father, our compassionate divine guides, and trusting that they are supporting us as we make the most best, good English, the best decisions we can in our lives for to be the most connected and spiritual and forgiving of ourselves and others. So there's my rant for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Our message comes with the inquiry. How are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of life? I can see it as I've been pulling these daily cards. I hope you can as well. I hope you're starting to see how you are being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life. How are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? Each of us are going to have a unique situation going on. How are you being called to let it go, let it heal, and trust that the unknown is where we just need to float into, and know that as long as we trust, we're going to be guided in the correct direction. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate your time. I really do, because you can spend it anywhere else, and I appreciate you listening. Please, if you haven't, like, share, and subscribe. And until tomorrow, have a beautiful day and find that way to trust.